We get there on the video chef. Okay. All right. So, see, no lumps. Okay. Now we said we need it to be nappé, right? Nappé means to coat the back of the spoon. You say that's coating the back of the spoon?
Yes.
Now let's do somewhere we can actually see what we're doing.
Use a spatula.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a spatula. A little bit easier to see it there. Okay? I'm gonna take that. So you see how it coats it? Okay, so that's a nappé consistency. It coats the spatula. You see back there? Okay, you guys see it? Okay. Now the true test, the real test of nappé. If it's done correctly, we run our finger through it. And you see how it does not? See how it doesn't come in on itself? I draw that line through it, right? And it doesn't close up, okay? That is a proper nappé consistency. Not too thick, that pasty, but not too thin, that it just closes in on itself when we draw that line through it, okay? So when we're talking about nappé, that's what we want. That's what we're looking for, okay? And that was just water, okay? So imagine if we were making a real sauce that's going over grilled chicken, right? So you want that sauce because a sauce does a couple of different things for food, right? What does it do? It enhances. And how does it enhance? By adding what? Flavor. What else? Texture. What else? Moisture. Okay. Color. Right? Okay. So it's not just making a sauce and just pouring it on there, right? Everything that we do should have a purpose and should have a reason, right? Why we put it on there. Initially, sauces, and one of the reasons why, especially in French cuisine, why sauces were so important. Remember when we talked about the brigade? When we talked about all the positions? Everybody wanted to be the what?
Saucier.
Saucier. Why? It sounds really good, but in all actuality, a good chef back in the days before refrigeration, well, where are we keeping the meat? A lot of times the meat and fish and poultry was kind of, let's just say, not the freshest, okay? And it was getting a little pungent, okay? So a good chef would make a great sauce to cover up the funk of the meat or fish, right? So that's what became the standard of being a good chef. Now you could serve spoiled meat and nobody would know because your sauce was so good, right? Nowadays, we're a little more better when we've got refrigeration, hopefully, right? Okay. So, questions about Roux? Yes? You could add more liquid to it, but see, you have to be careful because remember, once you put something in, you really can't take it out, can you? So that's why you have to use it proportionately at first. Okay? So I always err on the side of putting a little bit less than you think you're going to need, and then if you have to add a little bit more of the roux, then you're really not going to change your flavor profiles too much, right? Once you start messing with the proportions by adding more liquid, then you're going to have to add more. What if you add too much? Okay, now you're going to have to add more seasonings or more garnish or more whatever. And then that just throws everything off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I were making a brown truffle sauce, and I was using, remember those truffles we had? Right? Those things are like $1,200 an ounce. I want to be real careful about adding too much liquid or too much roux. I really don't want to mess up the proportions of flavors there, right? So again, it's always easier to add a little bit more if we started with a little bit less. Okay? So you know, the biggest mistake that many of you will make is that you'll react to what you're reading in a recipe or in directions. Okay? Say, here's 1 cup of water. You'll put the whole cup of water in at one time. Maybe you don't need the whole cup of water. Maybe you're getting moisture from the vegetables as they're cooking. Maybe you're getting, you know, moisture from the meat that's in there as well. Okay? And maybe instead of a whole cup, maybe you only need 3/4 of a cup. Okay? Now it's going to change from preparation to preparation, but like I said, it's my standard is I'm always going to hold back just a little bit. Okay? Just in case. If I have to add more, I can. If I don't, then I could put it back and use it for something else, right? Okay? That get your question?
Yes.
Okay, cool.